Hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to my channel. So this is my off-season series, The Aftermath. So I previously had showed you one of my glute focused lower body workouts in my off-season, and
so this workout starts with a dumbbell overhead press.
I know we were talking about, I was focusing on my glutes and hamstrings for my lower body in this off-season, and in my upper body for this off season, I am working on building out my lats and my delts. I need to make those pop a little bit more. So stay tuned to see some of the things that I do to work on that. I actually have several upper body days, so this is only one of, I think, 3 or 4 that I have in my program. So stay tuned on that and let me know if you want to see any of our other ones, and I will try to record some of that for you.
I get my dumbbells ready. I actually rest them on my knees, and you're going to see here a nice trick is that you actually kind of kick your knees up to help get yourself into, or get the dumbbells up into a proper position so you're not straining. So that's just a pro tip there. But anyway, I start this out. I do 1 set for 8 reps at 40 pounds, and then I actually will drop the weight a little bit down to 35 pounds and do a second set at 12 reps. And yes, you are correct, only 2 sets for this one. Coming out of that overhead press, I'm going to keep my dumbbells, and I'm actually going to do a dumbbell bench press. So once again, I start out with 40 pounds here, and I pop out 10 reps at the 40-pound dumbbells. And then just like the overhead press we just did, I do a second set with slightly lower weight at 35 pounds on each dumbbell, and I do that for 12 reps. And yes, once again, I'm only doing those 2 sets. So the next movements are a superset. What a superset is you actually do a set of one movement straight into a set of another movement without any break in between. So I start out here with the rear delt fly on this machine here, and I do 3 sets at 55 pounds, 20 reps for each set. And then the kicker is then I do a drop set. If you watched my previous video, a drop set is where you drop your weight to about somewhere between 40 to 60% of the weight you did, and you do as many reps as you can while maintaining proper form or to failure. So and again, on this rear delt fly, I do 3 sets at 20 reps, 55 pounds, and then I do a drop set. I drop to 35 pounds, and I'm able to do 12 reps at that. Then after my rear delt flies, I go straight into pec flies. I do 3 sets of those at 55 pounds for 2 of my sets, and then my last set I actually increased to 60 pounds, 15 reps for each of those. And again, I do a drop set at 35 pounds, and I'm able to do 12 reps at that. One thing that's a little bit harder to show in the video, I guess, here is that with this superset, I'm not doing all my delt flies and then doing all my pec flies. I'm doing a set of delts straight into a set of pec, and then I do it again. A set of delts, a set of pecs, do it again. So just wanted to make that clear. Obviously I do rest after I've done both movements. I will rest before I start the routine again. Next movements is another superset. So I superset seated side laterals, and those are delt raises obviously, and then I superset those with dumbbell, again, partial laterals. The reason we do this is that for the seated laterals, I will go ahead and use my typical weight and do a full range of motion. But then by supersetting it with a partial raise, I can increase the weight to where a weight I wouldn't normally be able to complete the full range of motion, but it forces that additional strain on that muscle to exert some change response. So I do 3 sets of this superset, 15 reps each. So I do 15 reps at 15 pounds on the seated side lateral, and then I do 25 pounds at 15 reps on the partial. And then my last 2 for the seated side lateral, I actually increase the rate to 20, and I keep the weight on the partials to 25 because that is definitely a challenging weight for me. All right, now the last superset I have, so this is definitely, I've got 3 supersets in this workout, but the last one I have is cable press down, supersetted with overhead cable extension. So we are destroying our triceps in this. So this is definitely a burner. So anyway, I start out with the cable press downs. As you can see here, I do 3 sets, 15 reps each set, and I do them at 65 pounds on this day. I do not rest. I go immediately into an overhead cable extension at a much lower weight, and that is at 30 pounds. I do 12 reps for 3 of the sets. And once again, just like some of my other ones, I do a drop set on the cable extensions. So I will drop it, I think I dropped the weight to only about 10 pounds here on the drop, and I'm able to get 12 reps on that one. So check it out. You will feel the burn if you do this on your triceps. So that actually finished up my upper workout, but I had a few more minutes and I wanted to show you an exercise that I am doing for my pelvic floor therapy, which is something that I have started working on in my off season. So it is incredibly humbling to realize that just this small movement can be so challenging. So what I do is I lay across the bolster here, going up and down my spine and supporting my head, tuck in my pelvic floor, and then bring my opposite arm to the opposite knee. I will tell you right now, I only have to do 20 reps of this, right? You are gonna see how many times I bumble and roll off of this thing or have to catch myself. This seems so simple, but it is actually incredibly challenging, which only emphasizes for me the importance of me focusing on this pelvic floor therapy so that I can be more effective with all of my lifts and overall in better health and strength of my core, so I'm not doing things to potentially put my back at a disadvantage or open up for injury. So like I said, this is one of the things they have me doing, and this one gets me, y'all. Like, try it. Then the last thing I did was practice some double unders. Double unders is your standard jump roping, but instead of the rope going under your feet, once it goes under your feet twice for each jump. So you have to have a much faster rope speed. This is definitely, as you can see, something I am still working on. But a little bit of practice every day for sure adds up over time. Me and my partner were actually practicing these because we had an upcoming competition where double unders were part of one of the workouts, and neither one of us are particularly great at them. So we've each been trying to work in some extra practice on these when we had time available after our workouts. So definitely give these things a try. Just remember, there's always a way to challenge yourself. If you jump roping is easy, move on to double unders. If double unders are easy, move on to triples. And there's always a way to meet yourself where you're at and continue to challenge yourself throughout your health and fitness journey.
And that's a wrap for my upper body day in my off season. So very different from in season, but right now we are working on building that muscle in the areas that I personally needed to build to improve my physique. So it's not as exciting as prep or anything like that, but everyone's off season, oh my gosh, I can't talk, is going to be different based on what you individually need to work on. So your girl here has to work on literally everything on her backside. I need to work on my actual back, my glutes, my hamstrings, and a little bit of my delts, which I guess is on the side. But yeah, pretty much everything on my backside is what I need to work on, and we are going at it because the muscle that I build in my off season is going to be the muscle that we will see on stage when I go through prep and shred down back to the low body fat for stage. So off season is where the gains are made. They are not made in prep. Prep is just the fat loss part of it. So to stay focused, I just keep to remind myself that this is where the gains are, and I got to go after them just as hard as I go after, you know, the fat loss during prep. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to have more to come. If you have any requests for videos, topics, stuff like that, I'm glad to do it. Just let me know. Remember, evolve your body, evolve your, oh my God, I literally can't talk. Evolve your body, evolve your life, subscribe. Maybe the next video I'll be able to talk. I don't know. Your girl's notes.